It's time for your Low Country Real Estate Market Update. It's the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. Brian is one of the top 1% real estate agents in Charleston. Find him online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Or call him at 843-345-1273. Now, broadcasting from the WTMA studios, here's your host, Brian Beatty.
Good morning, Charleston, and welcome to another edition of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. So excited to be here in the studio this morning talking real estate with you, my loyal listenership. This is the show, if this is your first time tuning in, where we talk about real estate. We talk about the process. I help educate you on what's happening both in the market and then in terms of what to expect if you're going to put your home on the market and sell it, buy a home, invest in real estate, anything housing related. So I've been doing this show. I think I'm in my 7th year now, which is really exciting. I was thinking about that yesterday. I've been doing this for now my 7th year on this program, talking with you guys about real estate. Nowhere else I'd rather be right now? Well, that's not true. I could think of a few tropical places I'd be. It was a little chilly this morning. Fall is in the air. But let me give you an idea of what we were going to talk about here over the next hour. We're going to talk about what's going on in the market. A lot of people have a lot of questions about the state of our local real estate market. So I'm going to try and help you guys better understand what's happening here based on the different segments within our market, because things are very different in the first-time homebuyer market compared to the luxury market. We're going to talk about really just getting serious about selling a house. If you're going to start the process now, I want you to better understand what you need to know and how to get it right the first time. I'm going to talk to for sale by owners. If you're thinking of selling your home on your own, you've got some reasons to be concerned, in my opinion. So I'm going to tell you why you're going to have a little bit of a tougher time selling your home on your own moving forward. And then we're going to talk about pocket listings. There are all these properties that are not on the market right now, but that can be purchased, and that shadow inventory is going to start growing as we enter into the holiday months. So I want to talk about how you can find those good deals, how you as a seller can benefit from selling your home without the hassle of putting it on the market, and of course a few other things in between. And what's really exciting about today is that I'm in the studio and I'm taking your calls. So if you have a question about real estate, if you'd like to know anything about a specific part of the process, a market, whatever you'd like to ask, as long as it's real estate related, feel free to call to the studio. The number here is 843-556-1250, 843-556-1250. That's the number to get on the program. Now, if you'd like to reach out to me personally and talk about real estate, off air, of course, my number is 843-400-8009, or go to listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com, or call me at 843-400-8009. So let's talk about the market. Let's really just kind of wrap our head around what's happening here, because, and this is the case for, this year, last year, the numbers aren't necessarily telling us the truth of the market, because these numbers have to be taken with a grain of salt. Let's look at Charleston County as an example and just understand what kind of properties we have in Charleston County. We have first-time homebuyer properties. We have historic, beautiful properties on the Battery. We have oceanfront property, waterfront property, condos, townhomes. We've got basically every kind of property available in a wide variation of price ranges in Charleston County alone. So when we talk about stats and when we read articles and when we watch videos or even listen to podcasts, I get the irony here, but when we're looking at the market and we're trying to determine, okay, is now the right time to buy something or sell something? If you're trying to time the market based on the data that you're reviewing, that data is and always will be very generic in nature. You have to get more granular with how you approach analyzing a particular market, and that's where a real estate agent comes in. We're going to look at what's been on the market, what's under contract, what's sold, what hasn't sold over the past 6 months, 12 months. How does that compare to your specific property? Let's look at the lots. Then let's look at the home, the upgrades, the quality of the construction, all of those different things, condition. We're going to talk about that too today, by the way. Condition, setting yourself up to be successful in the home selling process this time of year is going to require you doing a little more work to your house than maybe in the spring or in the summer, or certainly last year when the market was a little hotter in a lot of these different areas. But as it relates to our specific market, Tri-County area, you have all these different little pockets within our area that are hot, and they're when you listen to your friends say, "Oh yeah, we put our home on the market, we had 17 showings in 3 days, and it sold with multiple offers," it's just not the norm anymore, or at least that norm, that idea that people have in their minds of this being a really solid experience. It's going to happen quickly. I'm going to get everything I want. It's been that way for several years. Don't get me wrong. It's been a seller's market in Charleston. But as the market shifts, some of that power gets taken away from the sellers. And so the buyer has a little bit more of a footing to negotiate a little more aggressively, maybe make you, the seller, sweat because they know that your showings are starting to slow down and the days on market is starting to increase. So they see the kind of proverbial blood in the water, and they use that to their advantage. And that's their right. Just like you have the right to take full advantage of a seller's market and sell your home for more money than your neighbor down the street did 2 weeks ago. So when you look at this market and you look at Charleston in general, we have all these great insulating factors that protect us locally, economically. We've got a great local business scene here. And we've got some external factors that just make us a little different from some of your other markets that are this size. But when you start to look at the trends within the marketplace, when you start sitting down with people like I do on a daily basis and reviewing the numbers and saying, okay, in your area, in this price range, for this type of home, here's what we're seeing. Here's how many homes are on the market. Here's how long they've been on the market. Here's how many price reductions they've had. Here's how many showings they're getting on an average basis. Here's how many showings it's taking in order for them to go under contract. All of these things we're reviewing the trends, we're reviewing the individual adjustments that need to be made to their home in comparison to the other homes that recently sold. Do you have a screened-in porch, but they didn't? Is your home fenced, but theirs wasn't? Do you have a new roof and an HVAC, and theirs is 19 years old? Do you have hardwoods? They have carpet. All these little things mean money, which is why it's really, really challenging to analyze a property based on something like price per square foot, just like it's really challenging to understand a market by looking at an area in totality. If I just look at the market in general for the Charleston Tri-County area, I mean, new listings are up 3%. Stuff that's under contract is up 6%. Closings are kind of flat. Days on market is up a few days. The median sales price is up 5%. The original percent of asking price received is at 96.3%. The housing affordability index continues to go down, by the way. It's at 101 now. And inventory is down 10%. Every single time we review these numbers, inventory is down again. It continues to shrink. And so this market is, it's kind of starving itself. A lot of people out there want to make a move. They want to make a transition, but they don't see the inventory. And so it just doesn't make sense for them. We have a lot of people that would put their home on the market right now if they could find something they want to buy. And that might be you. That might be you listening right now, or of somebody that's thought about moving for years, or at least the past several months. They just can't find anything interesting enough to make sense out of the process of selling their house. And that's where shadow inventory comes in. And I want to talk about that when we come back after the break. But just to give you a little teaser here, there are all these properties that are out there that can be sold. Sellers that have said, yes, I will sell my house. I just really don't want to go through the process of, cleaning my home for an hour and then leaving for an hour, only to find out that the buyer that just walked through my house still has to retire and then sell their home in Florida, and they might also be moving to Myrtle Beach or Charlotte or Northern Virginia. And you've just totally wasted your time. There are so many people out there that are just irritated with the process of selling their house. So we have folks that will say, hey, yeah, we'll sell our house, bring us a buyer, and we'll make something work. You also have all these people that have tried selling. They had it on the market and it expired. Their agreement with their real estate agent expired. And so not much has changed over the past few months. They'd still sell it. It's just a matter of now having an agent that's proactive enough to go after those opportunities for their clients, to call for sell by owners, to call people that tried selling and failed to sell a few months ago to say, hey, would you still entertain an offer if my buyer was ready, willing, and able? And so I want to talk more about that when I come back. And if you have questions about this process, if you want to know more about shadow inventory, if you really have any questions at all or any stories you'd like to share about real estate, the number here in the studio, if you want to be on the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show, is 843-556-1250. And we're taking your calls. And, of course, if you want to reach out to me, listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Stick around for more of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Have a real estate question? Ask Brian Beatty. Send him an email, lowcountryhomesales@gmail.com. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show is on 1250 WTMA.